Hey everybody, this is Isa, your host of the Bug Scope, broadcasting today from Atlanta, Georgia. And I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome, welcome. Hello. Yeah, um, right now I'm in the middle of teaching an Atlas Obscura class on pinning and collecting insects, and I was very ambitious about how many butterflies I'd get through during class this week. I have a bunch more moths and butterflies to pin, so I thought, why not continue to pin and spread them here on the Bug Scope this Thursday. I also have a fun new setup I finally figured out how to connect my DSLR cameras to broadcasts with. So let me see if not sure exactly how to do it on HAPS. So in a way, I'm kind of testing it out here as well. Let's see. See if I can do like I don't know, actually. I'm not sure I know how to change my camera. I can change my camera to, oops, or maybe I can't change my camera. I don't know, I guess I have to look into this a little bit more. I thought if I present my screen somehow, there was some option maybe to share the second camera. So maybe I have to go and go to the tutorials that Pablo gives to learn how to do this. Or maybe Christian. Hi, Christian. Also, thanks again for sponsoring me here on HAPS. And thanks, Frank, for sponsoring me on Patreon. And do you know how to add the second camera on HAPS? Do I need to do it through OBS? Maybe that's how I need to do it. Interesting. Okay. I thought it might be like Zoom, where I can just like go ahead and like share the camera view, which is right here. Here, let me change this around a little bit. Yeah, so I have this connected right now. I thought that maybe when I shared, I could just select the camera instead of selecting a screen. I don't know. I guess I have to do a little more learning for that. One thing that I noticed that I want to share with you guys too is that so I'm adjusting to being in Georgia, which is a lot more humid. Hello, Pasuli Sam. Hopefully I said your handle right. Over on Twitch. Hello over from HAPS. One thing that's interesting and very different about Georgia is that there's definitely much warmer weather and more humidity in general. And I've been leaving the screen door and the window open, so it's gotten pretty humid, which my spiders like sage back here, and my Madagascars and cockroaches, they love the humidity. It's more natural for them. But I've had, so I took this like head of organic lettuce that I had gotten from the store, and it was starting to go a little bit bad. So I was like, oh, I'll give it all to the Madagascars and cockroaches, who are here. I'll show them to you. They're back here. Many of you have seen them before, though. But my Madagascars and cockroaches. Move this over so I can scoot them into view. Oops. Kind of in view now. Anyway, they're in here. And so I put this this head of lettuce in there, but then it started to create too humid of an environment, and I think it caused the humidity and then that moisture, especially from the lettuce, like created like a very ripe habitat for things to grow fast. And so I realized that, and then I started cleaning it out. I cleaned it, took out all the gunk, took out the food that was getting over mature and starting to rot a little bit. Cleaned it all out, but it was in long enough for an explosion of grain mites I think, to occur, because now that I got rid of that really suitable habitat, I know. Now that I got rid of that very hi, Jake, and hello, David. Yeah. Now that I got rid of that really suitable habitat, like I have like all these grain mites have come out from I think the tank, and like when I took this container to that which has the butterflies and moths that I'm going to be spreading, it has the grain mites on top of it, which is not so great. It just means that once I'm done, well, this container, it's a relaxing chamber to help prepare and soften the butterflies, and it's it's locked. It's pretty like airtight, not like fully airtight, but it's closed. But it has these grain mites on them. I mean, it's good that it's closed because I don't want them on the specimens because then they probably would start nibbling the specimens. But uh, the solution is just to get rid of the habitat. They're not really a bad like. They're more of a symptom of the conditions rather than like a bad malicious problem. They're not like dermestids. They're just I just have to just because I disturbed that really nice habitat for them in there, they are going away now. I can show you see those little specks? This was near the tank too. If you see all those little specks, those are the grain mites on my extension tube for my camera. So they just started exploring once their habitat was disturbed to find new habitat. Um, they're super tiny. Actually, let's look at them underneath the scope for a moment before we get to the spreading because we can, because why not? Yeah, they're moving. Like, there is a glass that I drank yesterday of mango nectar, and I hadn't yet brought it up to the kitchen. And so when I came and noticed this explosion of the grain mites, they were all over the cup because of the residue of the mango. It's this nice, simple, sugary coat on the sides of the cup from drinking it. Okay, so let's take a look at a grain mite and then we will spread some butterflies after that. Because why not? We are opportunistic here on the Bug Scope. One thing too that I found is the Periscope stickers. So as a tribute to the Periscope days, I'm christening this scope with the sticker. The question is where to put it. And I think I might put it on the stage. Either on the side of the stage. What do you guys think? Yeah. So I can either put it like, does that fit? I think it fits. I can either put it something. Oh, that kind of barely fits actually. Maybe it'll be best to put it. Yeah, it doesn't fit well enough there. All right, it's gonna go on the stage, on the base. It's gonna go down. Oh, it's gonna go down there. Oops. I forgot. Okay, I'm still getting used to this. Okay. But yeah, Periscope hearts, yay. So it'll go on the stage. Okay. I'll put it on later though. After this broadcast, so I can properly prepare the surface. Onion Muffin comes out of the woodwork to say that I broke it. It's okay. It's very durable. Actually, if anything, I probably broke my computer surface, but everything looks okay. And there are even some grain mites on here. So they had quite the ride in that moment. Okay. Yeah. Interestingly, a lot of like this device, this which holds the camera for the scope, has a thing on the side. You can see it actually right there, right down here. Little tiny screw. And but it didn't come with the gear to tighten it. So I have to get that from the hardware store. And in the meantime, be very careful, more careful than I just was about moving the gear around. So, Maron, hello, welcome. I'm only here to learn about bugs. All right, to business. Let's look at this bug. Okay. All right, I need to open. So what I will do is share my other screen. Hello, thanks for the hi word. All right, sharing my screen, but actually I don't have anything on that screen yet. I'm about to bring up the software that we need for that, which is Amlight. That's what we use to look through the camera. Select the camera. And my computer fan is gearing up because, and let's find, maybe, where's a bunch of them? Where's a nice concentration? Let's find a nice concentration of these green flies. Like they're even on this tape dispenser. All right. I think they're running away from the light. Okay. So flip flop here. To take a look, a little detour on our way to see, spread the butterflies. Just wrong direction. Lift it up some more. Okay, now we are in the right range. Now I just need to get some of them in focus. So there's somewhere. Let's zoom in. Wait, it's gonna be easier to zoom in if I get like a piece of food that they're congregating on. So I will get that to maximize this opportunity to see them. All right, here's some food that they're all congregated on. Maybe I'll go get my, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get my cup of mango, well, with the mango residue on it. Right, so here's the glass that I brought that I drank some mango juice in and did not return to the kitchen, which has the mites all over it now because it has lots of yummy food opportunities for them. So let's take a look. Just get into the right field. To find the right plane of view, which actually is very tricky with the glass. Maybe I'll just wipe up. I just got some on my finger, so we can look at them on my finger, maybe. Now it looks like I'm sharing some skin condition that I have, but you don't have to worry about them as humans. They don't really bother us. The only problem is that my finger is shaking. Wow. Okay. Oh, sorry. I have to change the screen so you guys can actually see them. Okay. Oh yeah, there's a dog barking. What can I put them on so I can actually show you them? Because I think not my hand is probably better. All right, so I just put some on top of this paper. Hopefully I didn't squish them too much. And let's take a look. Wow, I've never seen them this close. You can see some squished ones over here. All right, what is causing this mark? There we go. So here are our little grain mites. Hello, grain mites. So you can imagine thousands of these. That's what's going on over by my Madagascar hissing cockroach tank. And it's not the cockroaches' fault. They're very chill beings. They're kind of cute. They almost look like little dogs or little, if I may say so, just like, walking around. Yummy, says Zach. Yeah, little aliens just hanging out, looking for yummy things to eat. And then I came along and scraped them away. Yeah, they look kind of like they're just scampering about. So yeah, these are little grain mites. Once again, harmless, but will infest and go everywhere to take advantage of tasty situations. And I think I started saying this a moment ago, but didn't finish my thought about how they were in, they kind of arose from my Madagascar hissing cockroach tank, but it's completely my fault, not the roaches' fault. It's not because the roaches are dirty, it's because did not I did not keep the tank and the food in the tank clean enough. And the conditions of humidity here in Georgia are pretty different from the conditions that I had this tank in Michigan. So I have to be a little bit more on my game when it comes to cleaning out old food. All right, let's go to a different cluster. This is the jelly stuff is probably some of that mango. And let's see if we can look at this cluster. Oh no. I think those ones are stuck in gobs of I think those ones above are stuck in gobs of uh the mango. Whoops. But it makes it a little easier to look at them. All right, I'm gonna take off this lens for a moment. Ready, tidy, lefty, loosey. Sorry, let me switch this first so we can see them even closer. And then we'll get to the butterflies. So I'm sorry anyone who came to this broadcast for the butterflies and is now like, what am I looking at? Uh-oh. I'm like not very good at not very good at taking off these yet. Ready, tidy. I think I have to turn it this way. I don't know. I think this is too screwed on. I think we saw it close enough. What do you guys think? Are you satisfied with how close we saw them? You can see their little faces, their little feetsies, just meandering around, exploring the world. That was great. Okay, cool. Should you help them or just let them be? GW40 to help them get loose. Oh, for this. Yeah, to help get this screw lens off. I would love to help them. It's just that it doesn't make sense for me to help them because there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them, and yeah, it's hard. It's gotta pick and choose in life, and in this case, um, there's so many of them and look, they are breaking free. They're like since I've had the screen on them here, they've definitely been breaking free of the mango juice residue, which is pretty interesting to see. So they're strong. They can help themselves, it looks like, and eat their way out. So if you have ever wondered what it's like to jump into a pool of jello or something, perhaps this is their equivalent in a way. Although I guess jello is not very sticky, but how long does it take for them to double in population? Their life cycle is about 2 weeks, is what I read online. So, and the females can have 800 eggs. And so that can, escalate pretty fast. And I know that they've been a thing. Like, I've always had grain mites in my tanks that I keep with my bugs. Um, it's just sometimes the population rises because of the conditions. So it's something that I'll probably never ever get rid of because I'd probably have to use some sort of pesticide and that would affect my insects since they're all arthropods. And it's just it's like a non-issue. It's more of like they're in a way they're like a nice canary in a coal mine to give me an indication of the conditions to tell me to make changes and clean things up a little more. So yeah, this is pretty cool to see the grain guy. They're kind of cute. Look at them all like next to each other. Do you think that they're eating the sugar and mango off of each other, cleaning each other up, or what? I have no idea. That's interesting how some of them are just on the run, running by, and then the other ones are all together in little clumps. And then there's only one left here that's stuck. So soon it'll probably break free as well. Yeah. How do they breathe? I don't know. I almost, I know someone who studies mites in Canada. I'll ask him to join us for a broadcast sometime. Yeah, we've never had a mite expert, and now that we have HAPS, we can bring guests on remotely. I'll ask my friend Wayne, who's an arachnologist or acarologist. Acari is the scientific name for mites in Canada. I'll see if he'll hop on and join us. It'd be so great to have him. I haven't really seen or spoke with him for a while. I just seen him on Instagram. So my guess, if I had to guess, is that maybe they have tracheal tubes like insects do. Otherwise, because they're so small, maybe they don't even have lungs and they just rely on diffusion for getting oxygen or gas exchange. So, yeah. Okay. Do they have eyes? Um, so because my answer is probably. So because when I had my extension tube, I was going to show you guys them on this initially, but they started to leave. And I got the sense that they were leaving because of the light, like to try to escape the light, but I don't know for sure. So I'm guessing they have some sort of photoreceptor situation going on. Yeah. Yeah, they're plotting to take over the world in that little huddle. Chat, 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 and then run off to let the others know. I mean, seriously, it looks like they are starting their conquest. They're the epicenter of this situation is happening right here. I think I can show you guys on my cup. Can you guys see all of them on my cup? See all the little specks? I know it's probably seems really gross for some people, but I think it's a sort of situation where because I know that they're not a problem and they're not going to bother me, they're just opportunistic. It's not like that big of a deal. And as soon as I wash it off in the sink or put it in the dishwasher, it'll just the situation will take care of itself, so to say. But they're like all over my cup. You can see them moving around. So yeah. I could definitely understand seeing it as being really gross if you don't know what's going on. But since I'm very familiar with grain mites, then I don't feel too weird about it. All right, they look like head lice a bit. Oh, interesting observation. So they are very pale, like head lice are pretty pale and only have sort of that brown and here, I'll find us a new cluster to look at since these ones have pretty much dispersed all the way. All of them have broken free, so bravo. Let's try this other cluster. while I finish up talking about them. These ones have not all broken free. Maybe these ones are squished, and that's why they're not moving. So, oops. Yeah, all right. I think that they've mostly dispersed now. So I'm going to get rid of that view for now. Okay. That was pretty fun though, to see them running around. Mango party, that's right. Whee! So much yummy mango residue. So I hosted a big party, and unfortunately I will be poo-pooing the party shortly as well. So sorry, grain mites. But they're very successful. There's so many of them. Are they similar to dust mites? Yeah, so these are all really good questions. Oh, actually, while we're on this topic, okay, so head lice. So head lice, I need to change the title of this broadcast. Head lice are completely different from these mites. So I was acknowledging the similarities of how they both are pretty pale and have some brown where they're more heavily sclerotized on their legs, for example, and on their head. Sclerotized meaning like their exoskeleton is harder. There's oftentimes when an insect is paler, those paler parts are parts that are softer for bending or to leave space on the belly to grow, for example. Like mandibles are usually pretty dark because they're really tough from lots of sclerotization because they need to be able to bite and break things. But lice are insects and these are mites. So they're completely different classes of organisms. Both arthropods, both have exoskeletons, but head lice are true insects. They have 6 legs, and yes, they are not mites. Dust mites, I think it depends. I'm not totally familiar on the landscape of like those microscopic things, but book lice, or hold on, there are, oh darn. Okay, there were some book lice that were on these the other day, but now when I'm looking for the book lice, like all I see now are the grain mites that have exploded everywhere. So I'll see if there are any book lice still wandering around that we can take a look at, because this is literally a rolled up book, and so this is a habitat for the book lice, but it might be hard to pick them out from the grain mites that are wandering around. So I'll take a look here, but maybe, yeah, I don't see any book lice. Book lice are also not mites. They are a type of insect, type of Pseucopteran, in the bark lice group. So I don't see any right now, unfortunately. Oh wait, I did find one, but I have to take out these pins to get to it because it's on the underside. Okay. All right, here we go. Back to the scope before I lose it. Okay. All right. New depth of field to find. Here is the side of a book. The extinct telephone book. Or nearly extinct. Looks like rings of a tree almost. All right, let's find that. So, book louse. If you guys see it, let me know. All right. Darn, where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Okay, it's on the edge. The problem is that it is alive, and so it's running around. And it's also kind of affected by this in focus. Hopefully it'll stop running in a moment. Sorry guys, I hope that this isn't too confusing to follow focus-wise. There it is, kind of in focus. It's probably like, what's going on? My territory is being invaded by these other mites. Darn, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Okay. There it is, running across the screen. Oh, it's hard to get. It's still so tiny. There it is in focus. You can see its body form is way different. Okay, let's try to zoom a little more. Once again, this is why it's definitely helpful to have museum specimens to look at, because they are not alive and much easier to look at closely because they're not running around. All right, where'd it go? I don't see it at all anymore. Maybe we lost it. Maybe it dove into the pages of the book for security, full security. Let's see. Where'd it go? I don't see any mites. Did they run down into the book? Maybe. Oh, wait, there it is. I found it. Okay. I found it. Let's find my finger. There it is. But once again, it's like so fast. There it is. Stop and eat the book so we can watch you still, little book louse. All right. Hopefully, where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Oh, it's so hard to follow because we're super zoomed in, you guys. We're so zoomed in. Where's my finger? It's up by my finger. All right. I'll chase it. I'll get it in frame one more time and then we will give ourselves a break. There it is. Just visited. It's visiting my finger. Where'd it go? There it is. There it is. There it is. Okay. It said hello to me. Gave me a high five and then ran away. But yeah, my finger here hopefully gives you an idea of how tiny it is. Like it's not, let's get this in focus again. It's not microscopic, like I can see it with my naked eye, but it is extremely tiny. Like there's my finger and there it is running around up in the corner. Can you guys, it's like a little ghost. Okay. Enough chasing it around. Let's switch this around. So those are a couple of little tiny mite-like. That one was an insect though, the book louse on the book pieces. And now I'm going to switch gears and spread a butterfly. It has the zoomies running around. Yeah. All right. I wonder if I can spread under the scope. I think it's too magnified to do that, but I can try and see. Oops. The one problem is that this one spreading board is a little finicky. How does that look? Oh, that's way too close. This is way too close. All right. I think we're done with the scope for now. So I will get rid of it. I think, yeah. And then, can I, like, let's see. I'm gonna see if I can, if I open a window like I do for my scope, if I can share if I can share. I can share my screen there so you guys can see. Okay, I think this will work, potentially. It's not like the most ideal, but all right. Let me just get rid of this. I think, no, yes. Cool. I think that can work. All right. It's not like the most ideal because it's showing the whole entire like window, which is not necessary, but this is the surface that I will be using to spread some butterflies. Let's see if I can close this a little bit though. Oh, there we go. That's not so bad. Cool. How does that look for you all? How do you relax the butterfly specimen? Okay, let me get situated here. I'll disconnect my dissection scope camera to take off some load on my computer. Yeah, so I relax the butterfly specimens by putting it basically in a chamber of high humidity with water and some alcohol and some to try to prevent like growth of bacteria or fungus. And then the specimens, it looks okay on your phone screen? Okay. Then the specimens are about a day or two later, hopefully soft enough to spread the wings. So here, hopefully my camera will. And then I'm going to test to see if it's soft. Oh yeah, it's nice and bendy. That's a really good sign. So I think I can pin this one. The only problem is that this spreading board, because of that butterfly, it's a pretty small one. I'm not sure if the body part of this butterfly is going to fit on the spreading board. So I might need to go with a smaller one for now and come back to this one later. Okay. I will try. This one's also like pretty, very beautiful butterfly, but this one is also one that has a large body, which I don't think will fit in this size. So maybe this one will work. Let's see. This one might work. So I'll try this one. See how it goes. I have another spreading board too that I can use, but I'll start with this one. Difference between a butterfly and a moth. So this one here, the most straightforward, easy way to tell the difference is if you look at the antenna. So in this case, notice how the end of the antenna right here is kind of knobbed or swollen at the tip. That gives away that it's a butterfly. And then if you look at the one over here, it just kind of tapers off. And the way that it tapers off like that really clues us into the fact that it is a moth, not a butterfly. It's a day-flying moth in the family Uraniidae. I forget the exact species name of that one, but I have it somewhere. So because this one looks like it has a smaller body and might fit here, I'll go with this one for now and come back to the other one afterward. Yeah. So I'm going to take the butterfly and put a pin through it. This is definitely encouraging me to try to grow out my fingernails so they look nicer for these up close situations. All right, so then I'm going to put a pin through the thorax, hopefully in the middle. I'm not super practiced with this, but practice makes perfect, but I'm going to try my best to put a pin down the middle. Actually, before I do that, I do want to adjust my camera to make it a little higher, which will make it a little easier, give me a little more space to work. And cool. Okay. So put the pin down the middle as best as possible, because the more in the middle and the more straight, the easier it will be to spread, because spreading involves drawing the wings up on either side in a circular formation. So you want that center point to be decent. Right, there we go. All right, now so difference between an entomological pin and a generic pin is that the entomological pins are built to last and not to oxidize. And like if you just use a pin from a what's it called? Like a sewing pin, for example, those ones are not built to last forever. And so they will potentially react with, they might be made of different metals that react with oxygen over time and kind of disintegrate or cause verdigris or just other problems. So entomological pins are stainless steel or they're covered with enamel. Here's what I'm using. So Rada, hello, how are you? Onion Muffin says, butterflies make me think of the Reading Rainbow song. Is there a part that talks about butterflies, or is it the imagery of that? Because I can't remember lyrics that address butterflies. Okay. So I'm gonna take some. I'm gonna take these pliers here to help me place the butterfly. And I'm gonna place it right in the middle. It's kind of hard having this camera here. It's like where I want to put my arm. But I'm going to put it right in the middle, about, I guess, actually, I'm trying to reach. Okay. Right, hopefully in the middle as possible. Needs a little more space, so I'm going to wedge it out a little bit. Right, and then I'm going to use a pin to push the leg out. To get it out of the way. And same with the other side, because there's some legs sticking up. Just get them out of the way. I need to push the butterfly down a little bit more. This is kind of not the most ideal situation since the body parts are very different. This butterfly is way more robust, has a way more robust body. So, oh yeah, that's right. It starts off with a butterfly. Butterfly in the sky. Oh, can go twice as high. Just take a look. It's in a book. It's reading Rainbow. Good show. Good show. A great host as well. Okay. I think think the legs are down. So now I'm going to take some strips to bring the wing down. I hope it's soft. It's relaxed enough. We'll see. I wish I had some thicker pins. These are size 2. I wish I had size 3 with me. But oh well. So one side down. And now the other side. But I need to cut out another strip. Oh, I have the species right here. Here's the species. P. Paris? Not sure exactly. I have it written down from where I got it from. I got this from Etsy. Got this specimen from Etsy. Oops. So I'm going to cut another strip to use for the other side. And now I will, well, actually wait, there's an antenna in the way, so let me try to get that out of the way. Head's a little twisted to the side for some reason, but I'm not sure if I can do much about it. It didn't seem to want to move very much when I first touched it. I love the way the scales are on this butterfly. I love how speckled they are and mosaic-y they are. Ah, thank you, Frank. Yeah, so it is a swallowtail. So that makes sense for the first P. If I stop to think about it, I could, that gives that away, that swallowtail shape, classic. So thank you. Papilio Paris. All right. So, looks like it might be a little bit, its body might be a little bit high on the pin or in location, like a little high above the spreading board from this angle, because there's a little bit of a gap between the wing here and the spreading board. So I'm going to try to push the butterfly down into the gap here a little more to have it more comfortably resting on the board. Cool. Much better. All right. So now I will draw the wings out. This is where the magic happens. This is what has shaped the way that butterflies are portrayed in the media and in books. The fact that the wings are not in a natural pose. This is the process of unnaturally replacing the wings or repositioning the wings. Of course, the reason for it is so that scientists can see all the details and features and venation on the wings. There's a practical purpose for it. So you can see the whole mosaic. Wow, look at that surprise. Pretty cool. All right. Just put down a little bit more. Cool. So I'll bring this up a lot. I'm just trying to decide whether I want to bring it up. Try this method that I saw from some place where you just use this to bring it up, or if I want to do it the way that I was taught, which is where you take the pin and you use the vein, the venation, use those tough veins on the front leading edge of the butterfly to draw the butterfly up. So it's being done without breaking because either one, there's two ways to do this. When an insect is first collected, it's nice and soft. And when an insect is first collected and expired for the purpose of collections, it's very soft and pliable and you can move it without it breaking. But then if it dries like this one was dried, you put it into a very humid chamber to relax the body so that I'm able to draw it out. And then once it's drawn out like this, it sits for about a week. And then after about a week, it's dry enough that I can take all of this off and then do whatever I have planned for it. In this case, put it into a display. Yeah, let me bring the camera closer so you can see the colors a little more. Oops. So see all those speckles? It looks better in real life, but it looks decent here. But I love the speckles because I think it adds so much. You can those are individual scales in the mosaic of all the blacks, in the sea of black scales. I think that helps emphasize and helps show and display like what's going into making the image or the patterns that you see on the wings when it's like that. Yeah, like sparkles or fairy dust, perhaps. Okay. Setting this camera back to the higher position because I need space to move my hands. Actually, I need to also put this lid back on because at this rate, the rest of them are going to dry by the time I get to them. Okay. It's always a pretty slow process in the end. One moment, I have to put these back in the container so they don't dry out. Because I would like to spread these all as soon as possible. Okay, it's a very meditative process. All right, so now I will draw. Take that out. Yeah, really gorgeous. And draw this up. Darn it, I didn't brace it properly, so it slipped back before I put the pin down to secure it. Oops. I'm putting this pin in at the very top edge to hold it in place. So pretty. I'm going to try to draw this down though. Something like that, perhaps. The one tricky thing is that this part's not flat, and it might be nice to get that flat too, but for now, I can come back and adjust it once I have the other side up. Let me turn this around too. Cool. All right, now for the other side. I agree with that, Frank, that fairy dust is basically butterfly scales, and I've definitely thought about how like butterfly scales, yeah, it's just, yeah, no, I agree with what you're saying. I always thought it'd be cool to have like butterfly scales for like sparkles basically, or for like mascara or makeup. Not mascara, sorry, eyeshadow. and makeup and stuff like that. I don't know how to do that without harming butterflies or harvesting them from already dead butterflies, but maybe in the future, like the way that people are making meat in the lab, maybe people will one day be able to figure out how to make biological things like butterfly scales in the lab. Some ideas for any mad scientists out there who want to challenge. All right, time for the other side. I'm actually going to bring this antenna so it's out of the way if possible. See how the head is slightly turned? I kind of wish it wasn't like that, but oh well. So all these pins that I'm using are called brace pins. Now I'll bring up this wing applying pressure to one of the strong veins of the front wing. I'm going in a circular motion so that I'm moving with the way that the wing is able to bend. I think I broke that a little bit, but it's okay. Oops. All right. I think I'm happy with that. I could potentially bring the front wings up even higher. I could do that, but I don't know that I really care to. Hi, Blinky. Oh, the har, the pinned down butterfly. Is that the har? I know it can probably be a surprising scene. I think I do want to bring the wings up a little bit higher, actually. So how shall I do this? I will. No, actually, I'm going to leave it for now. Okay, I'll do the next one. How about that? I will trim this. Thank you. I will trim this part down here. Cool. And now which one shall I do next? I think I'll do this other butterfly next. I think it was bendy too. Let's test out those antennae again. Yeah, that's pretty flexible. That's good. Cool. I wish I had a bigger pin for it, but I don't. So those are in the mail. I ordered them. All right. So taking the next butterfly, which is, I'm not sure what species this is off the bat, but wow, it has a very robust thorax. I wish I had a larger pin, but I don't, so I'll just have to go with this pin for now. Is there a name for this one? Yeah, I'm not sure. I could, iNaturalist it real fast. I have it, once again, I have it, in my records from purchasing them, but I don't have that on me at the moment. So let's see what the app Seek has to say for what it is. You can see how that just on my phone. Oh, beat up. Okay. Charaxes? Some sort of Charaxes butterfly is what Seek seems to say. Charaxes. Known as the emperors from Africa and Australia. Leaf-wing butterflies. So I'm curious to see what the other side of it looks like. I don't remember. But Charaxes. Maybe it's the two-tailed pasha or foxy emperor. That's what it looks like at first glance from a video that came up. Okay, let me get my pins ready to go. I need to take out some more for brace pins. So I will take them out and put them here so that they're at the ready. And now I will pin our butterfly. Butterflies are the one, oh, it's kind of tough to get through. This one. Hopefully it's soft enough and not too dry. Hopefully it's still soft enough for spreading. I guess we'll find out in a moment. Let me test it too. Seems a little tough actually. I might have to put this one back in the relaxing chamber, everyone. I don't think it's bendy enough. Yeah, I think it's gonna snap. All right, this one's going back in. Flying back to the chamber. That's unfortunate, but necessary. Sometimes they dry out pretty fast. All right, let's try, maybe we can try this one. Although this one has a pretty robust abdomen too, but we'll see. This one's a moth. Very pretty. All right. Bendy. Let's see, this one seems bendy enough. All right, cool. Looks like a male because of the way the antennae are, all fuzzy. Let's get that in focus. See all those fuzzy antennae? Okay. All right, I have pinned it. About a week until they're dry. Right. I think I need to reposition that because I think that it's a little bit angled. I need to adjust the angle. Okay. Oh, I'm having trouble pinning it through the surface. Okay. There we go. Much better. All right, next one is all lined up and ready to go. I made sure to give it a lot of space because those wings are pretty large. Oh, I hope this strip is long enough. It might not be, but we shall see. All right. So the initial pin down. And the other side. Hola, ¿cómo estás, amigo or amiga? Bienvenidos a la scope de los bichos, or los bugs, insectos. All right, there we go. So now time to bring the wings up to, and once again, I'll use that front very strong vein. It's definitely kind of resistant. It doesn't really want to move. I wonder, I might hear a crack, I feel like, from pushing it. And oh, I'm surprised there was no crack sound. That might be a little on the high side, but I'll bring it down later if I want to. Yeah, hablas inglés porque estoy mejor en inglés. Yeah. Tengo insectos. You're nervous about it breaking. It's actually, I think maybe this is a little high. Oftentimes, oh, it's slipping. No. Actually, it slipped into a slightly better position anyway, because the goal is generally to have this bottom edge of the front wing be pretty like perpendicular with the body of the moth. And actually, I think I'm going to put another strip on here to help hold the wings because the current setup, I think it's helpful to have one on the bottom side of the wing. So I think that'll help keep it in place. Yeah. So now the other side, and you can see that sometimes the body pivots as well, which can affect it. So sometimes I'll put a brace pin around the body here. Let me see if I can make the focus stay in one spot. Make it turn off. Oh, interesting. Turn off autofocus for a moment. That way it doesn't keep on changing when my hand gets in the way. Tell me if that's better too. Okay. All right, I poked a hole in the wing. I'll just go with it. All right. A little bit on the high side. Bring it down a bit. Okay, maybe that's good. That's maybe good. A little less, perhaps. Cool. Pin it in place. All right, now they're not totally even, but I can make adjustments. Now I'm gonna do the lower wings. Bring them up too. Not so much, but just enough, just a little bit. Kind of tricky with the way that it's bent. I don't think this will be a perfect spreading job because this hind wing is in front of the front wing, which is kind of strange. I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to bring it back under. So that might look a little weird in the end, but I'm not in the best practice with this. I'm a little out of practice with this, so. Go. I don't know. You don't know much English. Yeah. Yeah, it looks higher, a little higher than the left side. Yeah, I'll bring it down a little bit to maybe if I bring it down and take this back edge off like that, maybe then I can tuck this hind wing back in. Not sure. Not sure what I'll be able to do here. This is a little tricky, posing a challenge. Let's try. Maybe I'll just redo it. I'll just redo this side. Get this tucked underneath the other one. Like that. Let's try this again. I'll bring the lower wing down with it so I don't have it pop out again from the upper wing, which is what happened before. No problema. Acá sukito. Yeah. Estoy preparando la pedapra los moscas or mariposas para mi colección de insectos. Right. Maybe this will work. The hind wing looks a little low. Gracias. Okay. ¿Cuál insecto es tu favorito? What is your favorite insect? I know Frank's are ladybugs, right? What's your second favorite, Frank? I think I do need a second strip to help me keep this top wing in place as I adjust the bottom one. There we go, bracing it. Sometimes entomologists will also add slides on top of the wings to help keep them flat because of the way that they'll ripple sometimes. ¿No te gustas los insectos? ¿Por qué? Hay muchos tipos y la mayoría de los insectos son tranquilos. Hopefully that translates well. I'm a little rusty with my Spanish. A mí me gusta, I like insects porque por muchos razones, for many reasons. Because they are beautiful, son bonitos, y porque hay muchos tipos de colores y patterns y historias. Tienen muchos cuentas. They have a lot of stories that we can learn and So they're fascinating in that way as well, but beyond just how they look. All right, let's see what I can do about this hind wing. I'm nervous about it. It's like really difficult to work with. I'm trying to shove it up behind the other wing. All right, I think that's the best I can do right now, because with the specimen's like not the, it's a little stiff, a little bit stiffer than I would like it to be. One thing I can do too to kind of cheat with it is push the body over a little bit to make it look a little more even, potentially. Actually, never mind, it's not pivoting at all. It's pretty secure. I think I'll go with this. Hopefully it'll look pretty even by the time at the end. So we'll see. Yeah. Y también, to finish that question in español or in Spanglish, los insectos son muy importantes para la media ambiente, the environment. They serve really important roles of pollination, and they serve really important roles of being food for other organisms and also eating other things like plants that would otherwise grow out of control. They are really important decomposers. So they're just so important for cycling nutrients in our environment and keeping things in balance. And there's a lot of beauty, and there's only a tiny number of them that are dangerous or bad. Sí, exactamente. Insects are important to life. And flies are responsible for making chocolate. They pollinate the chocolate plant. So that's probably a nice number one go-to that most people can probably appreciate. So, ooh, Frank says, I saw a lovely metallic, oh, there's my arm, Longhorn Beetle today. Aromia moschata, potentially. You're a naturalist, Frank? Did you post it there? I'd like to go take a look if you took a picture of it. Okay, so I think I'm gonna stop now with spreading. I mean, I don't have any more space on the spreading board, so I don't have much of an option. So I will set that aside. What I am gonna do is try pinning a couple of these beetles that I put in the relaxing chamber as well. I do wish I had larger pins for them. I have just the largest pins I have right now are size 2. But I hope that they're relaxed enough to do this. So I'm going to test it out with this broken one first. These are, I think, frog beetles of some kind. Really beautiful. I'm going to make a display with them. Oh no, look at this one. This one's foot is stuck in the staple. Here. Oh, my focus is off. One sec. Look, it's stuck in the staple. That's a bummer. How shall I set it free? Guess I'll try to cut it out or bend the staple out. Ah, yes. Well, maybe Frank says, oh my god, next, if not more important, bug for me is the jumping spider. How could I forget? Well, yeah, I'm gonna take these pliers and bend it out. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, probably the best approach. I did specifically ask insect, so maybe that's why you didn't think of the jumping spider off the bat, because your brain was being very technically and taxonomically accurate and organized for the answer. All right. All right, the foot is free. Yay! The foot is free. That was a lot simpler than I thought it would be. When you have the right tools, things go away more smoothly, of course. So there you go. All right, so this one has a broken abdomen. They also kind of smell like mothballs, which is what people often will use to protect specimens from being eaten by domestic beetles. So I'm going to try to pin it. Oh, I think it's going to work fine. It's a really tough exoskeleton. All right. Really, really tough exoskeleton. But I made it through. It's still really hard to push through. The pin made it all the way through, but I'm still struggling. It's coming out right there. Oops. But I'm still struggling to continue to push it through because it's really tough. Ow. I pinned myself. But in general, beetles in general are cute and approachable. Yeah, that's true. There is a longhorn beetle that has, it's a really weird one, has antennae that have, this is really hard. I can't get it through more. There's one that has antennae that have venom in them. I don't know the details about how that came to be or how that works, but it's pretty wild, pretty wild. That's why bugs are so great. They keep us on our toes. Okay. All right, the pin is all the way through. And so next I'm going to get, I think I'll probably gonna use this styrofoam here to put this down and then see if I can tease the legs out into like a nice pose. Yeah, it's pretty wild. Oops. Oh no, yeah, it's kind of broke. This one's a little broken, but it happens sometimes. All right, let's see if I can get this hind leg out. Wow, look at that beautiful leg. Look at how beautiful this leg is and how intense it is. This beetle is very tough, very sclerotized. Let's see if I can just use my hand to pull out the leg. The other side too. Cool. All right. Then the rest of the legs and the antenna. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All legs accounted for. Then 1, 2. All antenna are present as well. Head's a little twisted, but. Hello, David. How are you? Do I happen to have the name on hand for the current specimen? Yes, it is. Here's the name. Here's the initial and epithet. Laticolus. I think frog beetles. What it's? Let me see. Frog. Yeah, they're called frog beetles. You can buy them so easily online. I got these ones online. Sagra laticolus. Actually, it's funny when you look it up. That's like what comes up buying them online. Um, But it makes sense. It makes sense why they're so popular online because, just look at it. It's so iridescent. It makes for a great display insect because it's not going to fade because of the iridescence, the structural iridescent. There's a frogbeetles.com website. Yep, there you go. I got these ones from Etsy. So I'm going to see if I can get it off, get the legs out. Look, it just bent right back. Get the legs out and position them in a nice way. I'm going to pin the next one though before I really spend more time with positioning this one in like a perfect way. So this one is not damaged like this one came. So, all right. Sometimes I do like to pull the legs out just in case when I pin through the insect, the legs get pinned in some weird way too and cause damage. So all right. Wow, it's such a tough exoskeleton. This one was not as tough as the other one though for some reason. So far, actually. I'm speaking too soon because I still have to get through the other side. Sagra laticolus. Yep. So, yeah. You can see the grimace on my face as I brace for it popping through the other side. Sometimes when you're putting an insect, it'll just like suddenly pop through and poke you, or just like be a surprise and then it pushes all the way through. And this is definitely like one of the more tough insects to pin for sure, because its exoskeleton is really tough. It's a very solidly built bug. Probably takes a lot of nutrients to make it so tough. Okay, put that one there. I'll just put all of them for now. Yeah, I definitely poked myself earlier, but um, undid it then. One of the hazards of the job of pinning bugs is getting poked. Getting poked, getting splinters. Those are things that have happened to me. One time when I was opening a compactor in the collection, the handle like ripped off one of like a little, like not super fancy, but like a ring that I had on. And I was like, what the heck just happened? Better than ripping off my finger, but that was shocking. Interesting, this one I just pinned was way easier than the other ones. Look at those antennae too, sticking right out on either side. Here, I can bring the camera a little closer for this. Cool. All right, a couple more. Ah, okay, made it through. Move the foot. This is tough. It's gonna be so easy when I do one that's not this tough. Darn, this one I didn't do as straight. This one is a little bit more, the pin isn't straight up and down, but oh well. Four beetles? Oh, four beetles, yes. I'm about to disrupt the pattern though with a fifth one. Shall I play the beetles in the background as we pin beetles? All right. Number 5. They come in packs of 5, but maybe they ought to come in packs of 4. There we go. Darn, this one's not as straight either, but oh well. Okay. Oops. Trying to get it the right height as well. It's a little on the high side, so I'm going to push it down just a tad. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I actually have a whole other pack too. There's a decent amount of variation in these. This is a different species, Thumeralis. And this other one was Laticolus. So you still have Pete's best? What? I don't understand. What are you saying? Right, cutting them free. And slide them out. Look at those antennae. Oh, it's a leg at an antenna. 2, 3. Oh, these are smelly too. Smell like mothballs. 4, 5. Look at their feet. I love beetle feet. How do I make this brighter for you? Does that make it brighter? Look at those little feet pads. Super cute. I love insect feet. Okay. They're really diverse and they have a lot of diversity in feet. Yeah, like little beetle socks. Oh yeah, put them on an Abbey Abbey Road crosswalk background. That's a great idea. Yeah, if I ever, it's definitely important to mix art into doing science, and so I will put that on my list of my next art night project. It's definitely a funny thing. Like when I was in college, for example, and then even I guess during my master's too, besides just undergrad, there were times when I like doing art was just so I guess therapeutic or it just really I feel like I could tell that I was using a different part of my brain or something like that. It was just so like it felt like drinking water after being in the desert or like taking a bath after being out like and about like in the field or something for 5 days. It was super like refreshing. It's amazing the importance of art. This one feels, no, actually it feels okay. Just poking around in it. This one looks like it's ready to sing a song or something. Like it has its hand over its heart. Be like la, and its arm out, about to sing to the crowd. If you see what I mean. See, here's its hand out, and there's the arm that's across its chest. Yeah. Hi, Pablo. How's it going? Yeah, like beetle socks. We have those black bugs in Arizona. Wait, what black bugs? There are a lot of black bugs. That's like that could be like 100,000 different species when you say black bugs, or like a million different species. 'Cause that's a very default insect color. For example, here's a black fly. It's not the black fly when people say black fly. This is an insect that I caught. A bombility though, bee fly. This is going to be super soft to pin in comparison with these beetles. Yeah, they're like, super cute beetles, Pablo. Yeah, I I got I bought too many bugs off of Etsy, and so now I'm preparing them, and I'll probably use them to like make gifts for family at Christmas time, or to make displays for the background on the wall or whatever. So Beautiful bugs. All right, so I'm going to pin this one. I wonder how different it'll be compared to the other ones that we just pinned. Probably the same density, same, oh, so tough. Need a hammer. Hammer this pin in. It's usually not this tough. But there's one beetle family, beetle type called the ironclad beetle, which you do literally need like a hammer or a drill to get the pin through because it's such a tough beetle. Wow, I can't get this in. Let's try this again. Very armored. These are very protected beetles. I wonder why they need such tough exoskeletons. They've clearly evolved this way, and there's a reason behind it. Oh, I can't get it. It's also not going in very straight, so oops, but c'est la vie. I'm trying to get it through the insect to start with. Asha, hello. Yeah, that's true. Going back to incorporating art into when you're doing academic work or other very like organized or rigorous thinking. Yeah, art can be really helpful, or just stepping away and going for a walk or just doing other things poked myself again, is really helpful and can really help you come back with a fresh mindset and also find creative solutions. Ooh, can you send me a picture, Onion Muffin, of the beetles that you get? I would love to see. Yeah, Arizona is a really popular collecting location for entomologists. There's literally a conference that relates to, I forget the name of it exactly, but some conference for where people who work with live insect collections across the USA, where they gather to have their conference. It's always in Arizona and around the beginning of August to be at a good time for catching bugs in Arizona and to bring them back to collections and things like that, to stock up for education across the USA. I haven't gone to that conference, but I definitely have it on my list of things to do. Wish list conference. All right, next one. This one went in a little bit easier, but it's the underside that's the most difficult. The breastplate, so to say, of the insect. Ow! I did poke myself that time. So once again, most insects are not this tough to pin, but these ones are for some reason. Well, because they're tough beetles. But no blood. But yeah, I think the A is an important part of STEM, or science, technology, engineering, and math. Science, technology, engineering, art, and math. And there's a nice quote about that that's on the wall of the entomology department in Philly. I forget what the quote is, but I think it's on my Instagram. A bunch of scrolls back though. Yeah. So yeah, definitely requires being thoughtful and creative and and piecing things together and whatnot when you're creating an experiment and figuring out the tools that you need to carry it out. There's definitely a lot of like creativity that can come into play with setting up the tools that you need, because they're not always available or made. A lot of the time you have to craft your own, not a lot of the time, but like a good amount of the time. It takes some finagling. There have been some interesting threads on Twitter, I guess is what I'm thinking of, that relates to this, of like, what are some weird objects you use for science? And then people share like using all sorts of things, like I don't know, turkey baster. Is that the right word or something for those like, I don't know. I can't think of an example right now, but all sorts of different tools, household tools that are used for different scientific purposes. All right. On Twitter, you're going to post the picture, Onion Muffin? What is on Twitter referring to? Right now I'm trying to pull the legs out. Sorry, I have to keep on remembering to bring myself over to the camera. Okay, two more, and then we'll be poke free. Shall I do one upside down? I'm gonna do one upside down for the fun of it. Wow, yeah, this bottom side is the toughest part to pin. Ow, it hurts my finger. Look at my finger. It hurts my finger to push on the pin. I need like a thimble. I need an entomological thimble. Does that exist? I don't think so. But I need one. All right, let's try this again. All right. Oh, okay, I got it. Yay. Pin dents. On Pinterest, I'll start pin dents. Well, this one's definitely not really completely straight. I can adjust it a little bit once I go in one side before I come out the other. I'm afraid I'm going to break it, but I'm going to pin myself again. No. Okay, I did. Wow. Yeah, I need a thimble. This time there's blood. Wow, I even bent the pin. The pin even got bent. I can't see it as well on the camera, I guess, but I bent the pin by accident trying to get it through. And I'm bleeding. But not like a ton. But danger. The dangers, the hazards of this work. The good thing though is that you usually have alcohol nearby for sanitizing. So I will I'm probably fine, but I'll just add a little bit of alcohol to where I got poked just in case. And you gotta make sure you have your tetanus shot too. Maybe they are Pinnacle beetles or carpet beetles. Outside? How large are they? Hi, David. Yeah, I've just been pinning the whole time pretty much and spreading leps. Do you do much spreading of leps, David? They don't make pins like they used to. Now I have one more beetle to pin, and I don't want to pin it because I don't want to get poked. Also, this is the one that has an interesting pose, but I will get it over with. I'm going to give it a go. All right, one more. Shall I do this one upside down too? I'll do this one upside down too. That way we can look at their beautiful feet. Okay. Here I go. The tricky thing is that it's not really probably as easy to pose the beetle when I pin it upside down, but we'll see. Wow, that was easier this time. then it's the other side that was tough before. All right. Oh wow, that one was the easiest. It went right through. Yay. No pain this time. Okay. All right. We have our beetles. Okay. I want to pin this one too, but I'm kind of afraid it's not relaxed enough. Oh, it's actually decent. Its legs feel really brittle to me though. Oh, they're not too bad though. Okay, I'll pin this too. This is my reward, pinning this bomb-billed bee fly, because it's gonna be super chill to pin, because it has a comparably soft, very, very soft thorax. There we go. That was wonderful. A wonderful experience. 10 out of 10. Especially after pinning the other beetles. Wow, David. David, today, was that just now? Like you left it now? David says, I've been at an actual lecture with actual humans in an actual place with drinks afterwards, like something from the before times. Isn't it like so weird when that happens? Or like not weird, but like I think it's especially interesting with these COVID pandemic times. Thank you, thank you. To go to a place that's a gathering, sounds like what you're talking about here, where there's people that you know, but there's also people that you don't know that you can meet. That's like such a treat. Because like during the pandemic, I still saw like a small bubble of people that I knew, and then I saw people that I knew on Zoom, but then it isn't really until like now with vaccinations-ish, but still careful with Delta variant, slash the summer, that I got the joy of going to an event where there's people that I know, but then also people that I can interact with and meet who I either don't know very well or who are new to me. And that's just like a really cool experience to have again. I'm very appreciative of that. Because I don't know, because yeah, it's a nice thing. I like meeting people and hearing people's stories and all of that. Awesome, David. Yeah, it's my first weird like pandemic experience, I guess, was in April when I was Ramon and I drove down to Georgia to visit his parents here, which is where I am now, and we went to where his brother worked, and we met one of his brother's coworkers, and we all hung out for a little bit in the parking lot outside, right outside the building. And that was weird because it was like a stranger that I was talking to and having a conversation with in real life, in person. And it's happening more now, of course, with vaccinations and such, and the weather being nice. But I still remember that experience as being like feeling forbidden, but also really awesome and like okay. So, yeah, Ramon's parents are in Georgia. That's why I'm in Georgia. Yeah, we're staying at their house for the fall. So, all right. So now I'm gonna bump this out of the way a bit because I'm going to do some leg positioning to and fancify and better showcase these frog leg beetles. Although I don't know if this is enough space for me to do that, so I might find another surface to do this on. Like, I have some styrofoam that I'll use over here. Okay. Are these for the museum or your own collection? Yeah, great questions. Thanks, guys. So the frog beetles, the really shiny ones, those ones are just for art. Those ones are just for display for fun. I got those from online, and I don't have the appropriate research grade data for them that would make them appropriate for museum and research. And then the fly in the bottom, I did collect myself, and I have location and data for that. So that one is going to go to the museum, and yes, that one, I don't have the data on it right now, so I have to add that. But once the data gets added to it, it will be research grade and be, well, like for my own collection, but I'll just bring it to the museum to keep there. Onion Muffin is asking, does the humidity bring out more bugs? And I will say that yes, probably, because it lowers the risk of desiccation for many insects, especially for the more larval insects that do need more humid environments. If you've ever seen a dead carcass, or like a carcass, I guess a dead carcass is a dead thing already. If you've ever seen a carcass, oh, my camera went off. One moment. Interest. Oh, maybe the battery ran out. Maybe that's a sign to end the broadcast. I have been on for almost 2 hours now. Okay. I'll do the leg arranging off screen, I guess. But if you've ever seen like a dead mouse or something when it's been really humid out, I saw this once in the front yard in the Philadelphia area. And sorry, I just got a pop-up window about the software for the camera. I'll just press I agree and sign my soul away to make the screen go away. Okay. One time I saw like a dead mouse or something outside, but I couldn't even tell what it was that had died because it was covered in maggots and it was really humid out. It was like a really hot, really humid, but not too hot. And it was just covered, like bubbling with maggots. And the conditions were just so great for that to happen, which I guess it's gross to think about, but then also it's like, haha, like decomposition is happening at an optimal pace. And soon this dead animal is going to be flies that are flying around and getting reincorporated into the ecosystem. And, well, they are part of the ecosystem, but like they're getting recycled. So, yes. I hope you enjoyed the story. You're welcome, Blinky Bill, at all. But if you, one, I guess, yeah, I guess you didn't have the honor of seeing it, so there's that buffer. But then two, if you're reacting in this way, I guess you guys have probably had some experiences on your own with that sort of thing occurring, perhaps. But the better the conditions, the quicker that process happens and they go away because it's faster. And actually, that's something that comes into forensics. With forensic entomology, temperature comes into consideration because temperature is going to affect the speed of the life cycles of the maggots and beetles and other things that come to a dead body. And so in order to figure out an accurate time of when something died, because it changes across the succession of the dead organism. Like at first, certain types of insects will come, like blowflies, and then later on it'll be another type of insect, like maybe the rove beetles later on when things are drier. So temperature really affects that. Humidity, I'm sure, comes into play too, but that's not as talked about. It's more temperature that is talked about in those situations, I think, or that's more on the more readily talked about because it has such a big influence. So yes, exactly, Frank. So ew when decomposition doesn't happen. And the other thing too that I think is something worth noting is that when it comes to the bugs, Like, insects are never they're never the direct cause necessarily of what the reasons why we say ew. So the reasons why we say ew when we see them on organic material is it's not because they're causing an issue necessarily with them being ones directly affecting and hurting and causing us to get sick. It's the bacteria or fungus slash mold that is able to inhabit those, not inhibit, that are able to inhabit, to live on those conditions, if that makes sense. They're like the canary in the coal mine. I kind of talked about this earlier with the mites, how they are a symbol of the conditions of that bacterial stuff that does cause the toxins that affect us. But the insects themselves don't cause the toxins. The problem is that they are often a vector of some of those bacteria. That's why cockroaches are not great to have in the kitchen, for example. But they themselves, they're not the ones directly causing the illness. They're just hijacked by other things which cause the toxins and things that will make us sick. So, yeah, hopefully that helps with the perspective of that. And yeah, so. And the smell, which I'm trying to think of how much. Sometimes the smell will come from an insect. Like with burying beetles, they purposely create a sort of secretion that helps protect their food, the carcass. But I'm not sure if it's smelly or if the smell comes from. They're trying to mask the smell. I think they inhibit bacteria and stuff like that from growing, if I remember correctly. But the smell is often coming from the bacteria or the molds, things like that, not from the insect, I'd say. Unless it's a stink bug, but that's a whole different thing. And that's not going to make us sick. So definitely interesting things to think about. A lot of chemicals involved here, chemical ecology, a lot of invisible things like the odors and toxins that make us repulsed by those situations. And it all comes down to resource competition. The bacteria are competing with the insects for that resource too. So in a way, the faster the insects eat the carcass, maybe the cleaner it is if there's more maggots, because they're eating it before the bacteria are eating it, if that makes sense. Oh, I'm frozen? Oh no. I've been broadcasting for so long. Oh, looking good on your side? Okay, that's good. Cool. So, all normal on your side. Okay, interesting. Maybe refresh mic if it's not working for you. And if it's still not working, then message the HAPS team to let them know. And when you message them, include what device you're watching from and all of that. So, cool. Okay, cool. It's been 2 hours, long bug scope this week. Pinning takes a long time, but there's a lot of progress. There were 11 pinned beetles and 1 fly, and then 2 spread leps. It definitely takes time, especially when you're doing a broadcast, I guess, to pin and prepare specimens, but it's worth it in the end. They look so beautiful, and it's a really great resource to have. So, yeah. All right. I'm gonna sign off then. Thanks, guys, for joining this week. Great chatting with you all. Hope you enjoyed and had a good time and learned something new today. Take care. Oh, hope your fingers recover quickly. Thank you. Yeah. I can't even see where I got poked, so I think I will be okay. And thank you for those well wishes. And bye. Thanks, David, for popping by. Catch you guys later. Bye, Frank and everyone. Cheers. Oh, thanks for the Golden Squirrel Award. Frank. And see you later. So I'll hold this up to the end.